My control freak manager talked down to everyone like we were children, so I printed out every policy he'd ever broken and handed them out at the staff meeting he forced us to attend. Gerald ran our department like a military academy for toddlers. Every single email required his approval before sending. Every bathroom break needed documentation with timestamps. He'd installed an actual bell on his desk that he'd ring when someone's posture wasn't professional enough. 3 rings meant you needed to sit up straighter. 5 rings meant you were slouching like a degenerate. His favorite power move was the mandatory morning briefings at 7:45 a.m. sharp, where he'd quiz us on company policy like we were taking the bar exam. Get one answer wrong and you'd have to stand in the corner of the conference room while he lectured the rest of the team about accountability and professional standards. I'm not exaggerating. Grown adults standing in corners. In 2024, Gerald kept a 3-ring binder on his desk labeled Professional Development Opportunities, which was really just a list of everyone's mistakes going back 3 years. Forgot to CC him on an email in 2021. It was in the binder. Took a lunch that ran 2 minutes over, documented with the exact timestamp. He'd implemented a traffic light system for our desks. Green meant available for interruption. Yellow meant focused but could be disturbed for urgent matters. Red meant do not disturb under any circumstances. Except Gerald would override red status constantly, then write you up for having your light on red too frequently because it showed you weren't a team player. The breaking point came on a Tuesday when my coworker Priya got a call that her dad was in the ER with chest pains. She grabbed her keys and headed for the door. Gerald physically blocked her path and made her fill out Form 26B for unexpected absence request before she could leave. The form required a manager's signature, an estimated return time, and a written explanation of why the absence couldn't be scheduled in advance. Priya was shaking and crying while filling it out. Her dad could have been dying and Gerald was lecturing her about proper procedure. She submitted the form at 10:47 a.m. Gerald's policy stated emergency forms must be submitted within 30 minutes of the triggering event. Her dad called at 10:19. Gerald docked her 4 hours of pay because the form was submitted 14 minutes late. That's when I started my own documentation project. For 3 months, I kept a detailed spreadsheet. I documented every single policy Gerald enforced on us, then tracked whether he followed it himself. Every extended lunch break, every personal phone call, every early departure, every policy he cited but conveniently exempted himself from. Turns out Gerald was the king of do as I say, not as I do. He took 90-minute lunches 3 times a week while timing ours with a literal stopwatch. He'd leave at 3:30 p.m. on Fridays while the rest of us were locked in until 5:30. He'd spend hours on personal calls with his contractor about his kitchen renovation while we needed his approval signature to send routine emails. The bathroom break policy was particularly egregious. We were required to log every bathroom visit in a shared Excel sheet including duration. Gerald never logged a single visit in 3 months. I started timing him. His average bathroom break was 17 minutes. He'd written up Jordan for taking 8 minutes because anything over 5 minutes suggests time theft. My spreadsheet grew to 47 pages. Dates, times, specific policy violations, comparative analysis showing exactly how many hours Gerald stole while policing our minutes. I included direct quotes from the employee handbook with highlighted sections showing the rules he broke daily. Friday morning, Gerald sent out one of his mandatory meeting invitations. Emergency policy review session, attendance mandatory, professional development opportunity. He'd invited the district manager to observe his leadership techniques in action. Perfect timing. I printed 47 copies of my spreadsheet, one for every person in that conference room, including our district manager Linda, who Gerald had specifically requested to witness his masterful management style. Gerald started the meeting the way he always did, standing at the front of the room with his laser pointer and his binder of shame, lecturing us about the importance of following protocol and maintaining professional standards. That's when I stood up. I walked the length of the room, placing my spreadsheet face down in front of everyone. Gerald didn't even notice until I reached him. "What is this?" he snapped. "Professional development," I said. The room went silent as people turned the pages. Linda's expression shifted fast. Confusion, shock, fury. She kept flipping, jaw clenched. Gerald tried to snatch her copy. She pulled it away and said, "My office, now." He's been working remotely ever since, in Alaska.